Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 72 of the Sovereign Storytellers podcast with your host, Michelle Wolf. You might hear some car noise and random rain on the roof because, my car is my recording studio and it is still raining, but little rain in the background's not too bad. So I want to talk to you today. I don't have a title figured out yet, but I want to talk to you today about how you can't lose what's yours. We identify with our identity so much that when we're going through a change, we resist it, we fight it, we feel like we're losing something. And in a sense, you are, but in another sense, you're not. You can't lose the authentic you. I told client and friend yesterday that she can't lose if you can leave it behind. If it's possible to leave something behind, then it's not authentically you. Okay? You can't leave something behind that is authentically you. What you're leaving behind as you grow into more and more of a waking life, a more and more, longer periods of time where you are conscious of your thoughts and conscious of yourself as the one who watches the thoughts, who hears the thoughts. The longer you stay in that state, the more you realize and see all the different masks that you wear. And the next layer of that is how many of those masks were handed to you by other people. This isn't to push against other people and track down the bastard who gave you that mask that says you can't speak up. It's not about that. It's like we're all doing the best we can do. And we screw each other up constantly. That's the nature of human beings. That's why you can't expect your relationships to be smooth sailing and 100% unconditional love. It doesn't work like that. We're in human bodies, and human bodies are nothing if not inconsistent and unreliable. Okay, so as you start to see the masks, it can feel like you're having to let something go. Well, we fight against letting go of anything. So what I would offer to you is there's a difference in I have to let go or this is being taken away from me versus I am choosing a different path and what doesn't fit my new path is falling to the ground, and that's fine. It's okay to grieve it. It's okay to feel insecure and unsure and unsteady as you're finding new ways to connect to people, new ways to find a sense of love and stability. But what you're learning, and it's okay to even have a grieving ritual. Like, once upon a time, I was such and such, and now I am choosing to be this other thing. And so I'm going to formally say goodbye to whatever mask I am choosing to put down. Whatever mask is just falling away because I am so much in the new identity that I'm forming. The mask that I'm creating is still a mask. It's still a thing, a set of characteristics that we wrap around ourselves because our little human brains need that. And that's okay. We're always sliding along the continuum, right, of totally immersed in this reality and thinking our thoughts are real, and all the way up to the oneness where you understand this is all a game we're playing. We're always, and all the levels in between, swimming in our subconscious, hearing the thoughts, hearing the thinker, and then asking who's hearing the thoughts. Who am I as the observer, right? It's just a big bucket of stuff that we pull the pieces out of. I'm not doing great with analogies today, apparently, but I just see it as, like, in my head, like a continuum with a little slide bar on it. And as you slide and stay up more conscious, you start to see all your identities are constructed. Whether it was handed to you or you as an adult are doing the work to create a new identity for yourself. An exercise I have people do sometimes is, it comes from my Shadow Blessings course, but it was helpful to me when I was like, okay, here's who I've been. Now, who the hell do I want to be? And I'm doing that again today. This was like, God, 15 years ago. But I wrote down everything, all the characteristics about myself, all of them, the shitty ones, the noble ones, the vengeful parts, the things I think about but don't act on, things that I wish I could do for the whole wide world. I got it all down on paper so that I could see it was a construct. It was things I'd been told to be as a woman in the world, in American culture, growing up in the South. It was rules, and it formed my internal policies and procedures manual. And I threw all that crap down on paper and was like, we're rewriting these. I think at the time I might have actually been rewriting a policies and procedures manual, come to think of it, at a place I worked in Wyoming. But I was doing it internally. What's here? What are the descriptors? What are the adjectives? What are the rules about behavior? What are the rules about relationship? Now let's huck all this in the fire, and who do I want to be? I had no idea. So another video that comes from Shadow Blessings, and by the way, that course is not available. It's not like for sale, but if you're really interested in it, you can message me and I'll send you a PayPal link or something. We could work something out. But one of the other videos in there is to create a wall of mentors. This is what I did for myself, and it really worked. So I had a long hallway in my house in Fort Collins, and I printed out photographs of all the people that I admired who were doing in the world what I wanted to be a part of. So I had Martha Beck and Byron Katie and the Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa and who else? Some yogi person who I can never remember his name, but his eyes were kind of disturbing to me because they were like so much love that I couldn't even really bear at that point to look at his picture because there was just so much love energy in it. It's an old book. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I had Oprah on there, just all the people that I could think of. I had plastered that hallway with their pictures so that several times a day I had to walk past that wall and go, I want that, I want that, I want that energy, I want that characteristic, I want that stamina, I want that level, whatever it was. So I created a new way forward. I forgot how fucking uncomfortable that is until lately when I'm creating a new way forward with money. I've been working the money thing intensely for a while, but with daily dedication since January 2019. And it's taken me, and don't be surprised if it takes you a long time to create a new identity if it's deep core issue stuff, which for me money is. Like other things are easier to change. Now I'm down to the bedrock level with a spoon. I'm trying to like chip away like the multi-generational stuff on both sides of my family around money, but I'm doing it one little teaspoon chip at a time. And now it's reached the point where I'm super uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable and I'm aware of it. And I don't like it, but I remember that this is how it goes. And I remember that the authentic, timeless me doesn't change. The part of me that is a strand in a physical body right now, but is connected to the oneness, that part doesn't change. But this personality does. This body is temporary. This identity that I'm creating now and the identity that I'm choosing to, air quotes, leave behind, because we're just rewriting things. And if it's helpful to you to think of having a grieving process and labeling the identity that you're leaving behind, that's fine. And that can be really, really helpful. It can help you in choosing that when the old behaviors or the old temptations arise, that you're like, no, I'm not a woman who tolerates poverty anymore. I don't do that. Oh, I'm not a woman that spends without thinking. I don't do that anymore. So, next. So that can be a helpful thing to do. And when we acknowledge the grief of transition from one state to another, we can just move on through it a whole lot faster. When we're resisting it and telling ourselves stories about how sad it is and wishing it were different, we really bog down the process. Clean grief moves through pretty quick. The thing that tangles up grief is regret and fighting against the way things were. The way things were is the way things were. It is what it is. Blah, blah, blah. Cat poster philosophy. But still, it's true, right? We can't change it. So if we can acknowledge that we're trying to change it, if we can acknowledge that we don't know how to connect to people if we're not connecting through fat chat or complaining or the state of the economy or poverty talk or whatever it is, we tend to connect to people until we become conscious through pretty negative stuff. We're complaining about our diet. We're policing everybody's food. We're judging people who have more money. Like, we're doing all the things. We're demanding that our spouse be and do or say or look a certain way so that we can love them. I mean, we're doing all the crazy crap. At some point you wake up from that and you're like, wow, I either love this person or I don't. I don't ask them to wear different clothes. I don't ask them to like different things or to change the shape of their body so that I can love them. I don't ask that. If I really can't love them, if we're really done here, then we move on. We don't try to take someone and remake them in our preferred image. That kind of stuff is, a whole different topic. But what I want to get across to you is that if you feel like you're losing something, look toward what you are gaining. Go ahead and have your grieving process. Go ahead and name it. Go ahead and have a good cry or two or three over what you didn't get that you thought you needed. And I'll remind us all that when we didn't get what we thought we needed, we did other things that we wouldn't have done. I don't believe that happened to you so you would become a scientist, but it did happen and you chose to make something out of it and became a scientist or whatever. I hope it's clear. What I'm saying is that we have a lot more choice over this than we're giving ourselves credit for. And if we can stop fighting against it and spend more time looking at what we're gaining, more time looking at what we're creating, then we do a lot better and we move through a lot quicker. I didn't know how to connect to other women. Women talk in the bathrooms, whether you know them or not. You're standing there washing your hair, especially in the South. You stand in the meat department too long and somebody's going to strike up a conversation. But I didn't know what to talk to women about in the bathroom because they were always complaining, and I had made a decision that I wasn't going to do that. I made a decision that I wasn't going to look in the mirror and go, oh, my hair. I'm having such a shitty hair day. Oh, this fucking humidity. I wasn't going to do it. Oh my God, look at my ass. It's so huge. I wasn't going to do that. And so I didn't know what to say. Or, oh, I have cramp. We're just spouting out a lot of negative stuff. And it's not a judgment. It's just a labeling. It's what we do until we don't. And I didn't know what to say then. So I got pretty quiet in the bathrooms when random women would speak to me in a complaining thing. I would just say, yeah. Or, oh. Made a lot of noises. Oh. Oh. I didn't know what to say. I still don't say anything. I just don't want to engage in it. And come to think of it now, I can't even remember the last time somebody said something like that around me, which probably means it's completely done. But when it reduces the fear of change if we recognize that what we're letting go of, what we feel like we are losing, or what we're choosing to drop is a choice that we're making. And we're able to make that choice because we are awake enough to do so. Remember, a year ago, 10 years ago, you weren't even aware that you had a choice. Change was something you went through, but you didn't realize it till a long time after, and looking back like, oh my gosh, I totally used to do that stuff. But now that you're a conscious traveler, you're aware of the change when it's coming, in the middle of it, in the discomfort of it, in the points where you want to run away and you want to go back to your addictions, or you want to go back to your familiar bad feeling place, which is an addiction. You're aware of the desire to stop the process. And if you're being compassionately honest with yourself, you have to deny yourself that old pathway. You can't keep running back to the same old yucky room that you just left if you want to get the door fully open to the other room that has in it what you've decided that you want to experience: more money, more love, more health, whatever it is, a thriving business, a thriving marriage, whatever it is. You can't stand with one foot in the old room and have one foot in the new room forever. You might have the door cracked enough to be like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I've been trying to create. I can see it. I've got some glimmers of it. I've been asking for free money. I got $200 last night, unasked for, free money. It was fantastic. And then I wanted to eat. I was like, God damn it. Because I was like, oh my God, I just asked Team Invisible for help receiving free money that I don't have to work for. And 24 hours later, I got $200. Get out of my way. Where's the Oreos? Where's the Tostitos chips? I need some carbs. What's happening here? I felt it. I wanted to eat. The day before, I had gotten a surprise $300 in a payment of someone who's doing, paying out a class. I wasn't expecting that money. And then the next day, 200, and then I was like, bah, the money's flowing in. Ugh. What am I going to do? I've been working for this forever, and now it's here. What am I going to do? I don't know what to do with myself. It's that way for all of us. I had to let go and recognize that the girl in my head that I called Poverty Girl, her time was done. I had to say goodbye to her. And then I had to recognize that Poverty Girl was created from judgments of other people and my childhood poverty. Where I saw their facial expressions, or I got picked on, or however, this accumulative, or this accumulation of experiences that I then created this, oh my gosh, we're poor and I can't fit in and it's because of money. Where other people will say, oh my gosh, I can't fit in because I'm fat or I'm wrong, whatever. We do all kinds. Every kid feels that. I can't fit in because I'm a different color. I come from a different country. I speak with an accent. And it's true, and it's also not true. It's true, and we also don't have to continue it. So as you're creating these new identities, as you are training yourself out of your familiar bad feeling, as you are learning to lose weight in a way that is healthy and comfortable and not focused on performance or achieving some mystery date when you never watch what you eat anymore, when you're never conscious of your food anymore. What we struggle with around food is we use it as a tool to go and stay unconscious and numbed out. So then when we stop doing it, the shit comes up. All the stuff that we've been throwing a wet blanket over so we didn't have to hear the screams. When you pull back your blanket of cheese fries, all the stuff you were hiding under there is still there. It doesn't go away. You have to look at it. You have to feel it. You have to feel like you're jumping out of your skin. Today I was like, my God, I feel like the butterfly must feel. You know, when they've gone through the goose state, which was last year, and they're in the state where they're about to punch through the cocoon and they're just thrashing around in there. If you've ever seen a butterfly come out of a cocoon, it's violent. It can't feel good. It's flipping all around. It's swinging on the little branch, and the butterfly comes out and it's so damn exhausted and its wings aren't full. It just hangs on the thing for hours. That's kind of how I feel. Like I'm just like pushing and punching and trying to, breaking out of these rigid thought patterns, breaking out of this ancestral crunchy concrete crap, and it doesn't feel good. You would think, oh, you asked Team Invisible for money and they brought you money. Yahoo! And I was like, yay! Oh, God, it actually works. Yay! Uh-oh, I'm different. What? What? It's like suddenly crossing the finish line and being like, oh, the race is different. I crossed the finish line. When did that happen? At the same time, there's parts that are like, okay, you know this. You know how this game goes. You know it's uncomfortable. And of course, it's going to change because now I believe it will change. It took me over a year to even believe it was possible to change. So if you're going through that, please be aware that your old stuff is going to be calling you because the new stuff is not fully here yet. You're in the in-between and it's scary as fuck. And you can stay with scary. There's nothing wrong with being scared. There's nothing wrong with being scared. There's nothing wrong with being disoriented and confused. The Wounded to Wise group is all in a tizzy. Because when you enter that group, even before you enter it, things start to come unglued and they're there for you to see and make a choice about. Some people choose to go on through it. Some people choose to go back to their old stuff and complain and to blame. Keep looking outside. It's you made me feel this. You made me feel that. They did this to me. They did that. You have those moments, but the hope is that you move through it and then start to take actions. And also no judgment for those who don't. It's their experience to have. So if that's happening, if you've said, I'm fucking done with this. I am so over fill in the blank. And you're like, I'm doing it different. Now, I don't know how to do it different. So let me go find some templates, some people who are doing what I want to do so I can tap into that and teach myself and learn a new way. And in the middle of all that, you're going to have times when you want to run back and stick your head in the sand. When you want to go back to the, it's your fault. You're fucking me up. You're ruining my day. If you would just be blah, 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 then I wouldn't have to feel like I've been run through a knothole backwards. If you would just fill in the blank, then I wouldn't have to fill in the blank. My friend Bev's dad used to say, his was the run through the knothole backwards phrase too. But he would also say, I feel as mean as a gut shot bobcat, which is horrible, if you really think about it. But there are some days where, and this weekend I've had moments of like, I feel as mean as a gut shot bobcat. I am livid. I'm furious. I'm frustrated. I feel stuck. I'm disoriented. I don't have my sea legs, my money legs. The rug's out from under me. Pema Chodron calls this groundlessness. We don't like groundlessness, but that is part of change because it's not like flipping a light switch, honey bunnies. You can't turn the poverty switch off and turn the money switch on and be like, do, everything's fine. I've got a full bank account. Yay, me. Nope. You flip the poverty switch off a little at a time. You flip the wealth switch up a little at a time. And in between, it just doesn't feel good. It just doesn't. And don't let the "it just doesn't feel good" send you back to that old dusty room, that old worn out identity that no longer fits, because every time you let the discomfort send you running, coming out of that old room gets harder and harder. Worse, the universe starts to put the big universal boot up your butt and kick you out of that room, and your transition into your new identity is way more painful than it needs to be. I'm not happy with this itchy crawly jumping out of my skin feeling, but I'll do it myself rather than drag my feet and let the universe do it, because when I've done that, it is not fun. It is painful, and it is messy. And if it's going to be messy, I'd like it to be less messy. Let me feel like I have a little bit of control. I have a little bit of choice. So we're making micro decisions all day long. Stay aware of how you feel. You must have a daily practice if you're going to do this, because that's how you over time start to wake up a little at a time, a little at a time. Then you start to stay awake longer, and then you start to see that there's a direct correlation between things going well and you wanting to sabotage it, between your new identity showing up in your tangible reality and your instant desire to go drink a bottle of vodka, or to go stir up some drama in your partnership, or just go nitpick until you start an argument, or to just be cranky as fuck and just have a terrible day. Consciousness, daily practice, leads to consciousness. 5 to 15 minutes silent meditation every single day. Do you eat every day? Do you brush your teeth every day? You can sit in silence for 5 to 15 minutes every day. Don't tell me that you can't. That is one statement that I will not buy. I will not buy that you don't have 5 to 15 minutes where you can sit in silence every single day. Be honest, be compassionately honest, and say, I don't want to, because I'm scared of discomfort. I'm scared of being uncomfortable. I don't want to because I'm afraid of what I'll find. Or harder, I don't want to because I'm afraid there's nothing in there, that I'm just an empty shell. I've heard that many times, and I was afraid of that when I started this way the hell back when I was 22. When I was like, I'm avoiding meditating. Or was I 21? 22. I was taking Tai Chi. I'm afraid to meditate because I'm afraid there's nobody in there. Then over time you realize you're the one that creates the somebody. You're the one who decides the person you are now is not the person you want to be, that you want a different life, which means you got to be a different person, which means blah, all the things. You have to make the decision. You have to stay conscious. You have to be aware of your behavior. You have to choose the uncomfortable road in order to get to the comfortable road. You will eventually get comfortable. I will eventually have way more money than I can spend, which I will use to fuel the projects that I'm interested in. I will have that. I know it because I've had it. I've gone through this transition before, so it's a familiar road. But it doesn't make it any more fun. And overthinking and trying to nail down all the facts will just delay and bog you down. Well, I don't know why I don't do the thing. Well, you don't do the thing because you don't do the thing. That's all that is. You're allowing your thoughts to stop you, And then you're going unconscious and saying, well, I don't know why I keep ending up here. You keep ending up there because you keep ending up there. Because you're not paying attention to your thoughts. Because you're not finding a little piece of part of you that can commit to the process of change even when it doesn't feel good. It's not all don't feel good. We think it is. I've been miserable for months. Well, that's not true. You've had times. I've had times. It's not a constant. Nothing is. Okay. So, if it's yours, if it's authentically you, you cannot lose it. Nothing can be taken from you. You're only making choices. You're only going through making these micro decisions all day long. So if you want something different, you're going to have to wake up enough to see what you're up to. And then you're going to have to stop lying to yourself. And you're going to have to choose a different path. Know that it will be uncomfortable. Know that you can handle it. And the less you think about it and the more you feel about it, the faster it goes. All right? I'm having a free event to talk about these very things related to weight loss. Not the kind of weight loss you've been raised on, but a different way that I've found that's working. Human design, compassionate honesty, forest Reiki. The three things together are literally changing lives. And the group that I started this with is still going. This is my first group, and already it's amazing. People are quitting sugar. People are throwing food away. It's crazy how fast it works. So it's free, and I'm not going to sales pitch you, but I want to give you 3 tools that will help you get started whether you come into one of my programs or not. And the 3 tools work whether you're trying to lose weight or feel good in your body, or if you're having relationship problems, or if you're having money problems. The 3 tools work just as well on any subject. It's just that I'll be focusing them on getting comfortable in your body and having conscious control over what you put in your mouth. All right, that's February 15th. It's on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook, Michelle. That's my website, thatmichellewolf.com. You can go there too. But the event is on Facebook, and it is facebook.com/MichelleWolf11. On a computer, go to my Facebook page, click the tab that says More, then click the tab that says Events, and it's coming up February 15th. Click Going or Interested so that you get the updates. And I'm going to give you the 3 tools, and we're going to do some live coaching. So it's going to be fun. I hope you join us. In the meantime, don't go backwards. Hear yourself want to, and shift your focus to where you're going instead so that you don't suffer unnecessarily. All right? I say this every week. I wish I was that consistent. I say this at the end of every podcast. Think less, feel more, and I mean it. Think less, feel more. This life belongs to the body, and your body knows how to get you exactly where you need to go. All right, talk to you later.